Welcome back to the It's Just Sport podcast paper review. I'm Joanna Reardon.
I'm Eve Talon. We are ready to kick off with some big her sport news as we have just hit 25,000 followers on Instagram and we are just about to hit 6.5 thousand followers on Twitter as well. So we're very excited to see the community grow.
Woo! It's all very exciting.
Yeah, and I think we know we've spoken about this before, but we know all you guys that are tuning into YouTube are not subscribed. Over 90% of you have not subscribed to us. And we have a massive target of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. And the first 1,500 people to subscribe to our YouTube channel will be entered into an exclusive draw to win €500. So it's definitely worth entering.
Very exciting. €500 to listen to us. I mean, you can't really complain about that. Like, that's amazing.
We will head over to the rest of the news anyway in terms of sport. So it was a weekend of silver medals. We saw so many silver medals picked up as we saw a couple in rowing. We had medals in triathlon, in canoeing, in swimming. It was just a brilliant weekend in general for sport. So kicking off with the swimming, it was medals galore for Nicole Turner and Riain. Turner picked up a bronze in the 200 meters IM, followed by a bronze in 50 meter freestyle with a new personal best, a silver in 100 meter breaststroke, and a silver in 50 meter butterfly. A podium finish for every single event that she entered at the European Championships. So absolutely delighted for her and so proud of her sport ambassador. Riain made her European Championship debut competing in several events, which is brilliant. She just went over there, gave it her all. She's just 16 years old and she won a bronze in the breaststroke. She said it was all about coming here and getting the experience of racing internationally, and to pick up a medal too was great. So definitely some very exciting competing for Riain, and we look forward to see how she gets on over the coming years. Yes, the Irish relays were in action, and we know that they're vying for a place at the Tokyo Olympic Games. There were lots of Irish records in all of the different events that they entered, and it'll be just a bit of a waiting game to see now if any of them manage to get close enough. At the moment, it's an outside chance, and we're waiting to see in terms of what other countries around the world do. But great to get those Irish records with a highly experienced team and a young team, which is great because they're only really pushing the boundaries now and getting so much more international experience, which is great. In terms of rowing, it was a big weekend for Irish rowing at World Cup 2 in Lucerne. The first medal of the weekend was for Lydia Heafy as she bagged a silver. And we're just delighted for her because obviously she's been trying so hard over the last couple of years. She's really come into her own, particularly in the last 18 months, 2 years. And it's brilliant to see her get that podium finish in the lightweight single scull. There was then silver for Aileen Crowley and Monica Tokarska, who will be a pair competing at the Tokyo Olympic Games. So that will give them a bit of confidence as they head towards Tokyo. The pair of Claire Feerick and Tara Hanlon were also racing this event and are quite a young combination, and getting to that A final was a brilliant result for them and really shows the depth in the Irish women's squad at the moment. Sunita Pushpore was also on the podium as well. She got bronze in the women's scull and was beaten by Hannah Prakatskin of Russia and Kara Collar of the United States. Sunita will be really looking to peak at the Olympic Games, and so she was very pleased with this third place finish. So we're wishing her the best of luck as we head towards Tokyo. We also had silver for her sport ambassador Philip Doyle in the men's heavyweight double.
We have some incredibly exciting news with Carolyn Hayes. She won a silver medal at the World Cup. Olympic qualification could possibly beckon for her. She got a time of 1:59.16. The winner of the event was the Swiss Spirig. She's a two-time Olympian and she should obviously qualify for the Olympics anyway. Hayes actually became the first Irish woman to stand on a World Cup podium since Aileen Reid in 2013, which is an absolutely incredible achievement. She took the lead as the field transitioned from the bike to run, which was only overtaken in the last 1,500 metres of the run. Chloe Pollard finished in 40th and Maeve Gallagher finished in 42nd. The triathlon racing will resume domestically on the 7th of June, which we're incredibly excited about. In Northern Ireland, event sizes have been increased from 100 spectators to 500 spectators. So, Niamh, I think we have to get on our bikes and hop up the M1 to a couple of events. It should be very exciting. But congratulations to Carolyn Hayes for such an incredible achievement. It was so good to see. And the joy across social from Natalia Coyle, from Carolyn herself, from obviously her sport. There was a lot of promotion of it as well, so it was all very good to see. Over in canoeing news, there was joy for Jenny. Jenny Egan picked up a silver medal at the Canoe Sprint World Cup. She was racing in the K1 5,000 metres in Russia. She was in a good position within the first 2 minutes, pushing on then to claim the silver. She has been obviously very busy racing, as you've probably seen across our socials over the past couple of weeks. She competed in Hungary, finishing 8th. Unfortunately, there was 2 to qualify there. And then she went to Barnaul, where she finished 9th, but there was only 1 place available for a spot at the Olympics. So obviously, unfortunately for her, she missed out. But she's someone in the past who has said that there is way more to life and way more to sport than the Olympic Games. And I mean, we know she's got the medals and the successes and the incredible story in other international events to prove it. So even though we're incredibly over the moon for Jenny, bit sad, but I don't think she seems too bothered. So it's good to see an athlete kind of have such a good perspective on sport and in life and her career in general. So we do want to wish Jenny all the best.
Yeah, no, definitely check out the interview that we've done with Jenny before, because she definitely talks about the Olympics and how something like the Olympic Games comes around every 4 years, but there's, 3 other years that are non-Olympic, and there's so many more events. And she just talks about, say, the Olympic Games and how everybody really tunes in for it at that point, because it's 2 weeks you sit down and you watch loads of different sports.
Yep.
But she's really talked about it and has the success at the international level. And is obviously really proud of what she's done, and she ranges from right down to those sprint distances, like from 200, and then we're talking about 5,000 meters, so she really does cover such a distance as well. So yeah, we must catch up with her soon and see what's going on, but we're delighted for her to get that silver medal. Over in athletics, there was action at the Diamond League. Very impressive. Sarah Healy finished 4th in the Diamond League, and this will give her points towards Olympic qualification, so we'll see how that goes. She finished in 4:09.92, which is very close to her PB. The British athlete Laura Muir won, I think it was by 4:03, 4:04. So, we know Kieran McGlynn is around that 4-minute mark, and Sonia's record is 3:58, I think. And so, it doesn't seem like it was the quickest race. But we're delighted obviously to see Healy right up there, running with the best. Nessa Cooper-Millett was in action in 400 metres hurdles and finished in 6th place with 59 seconds flat, so that's a great result for her as well. At the City of Lisburn meet, Kate Doherty and Sarah Quinn were in action in 100 metres. Quinn won in 11:85. Doherty was also competing in the 200 metres, winning in a time of 24.2, with Sarah McCarthy coming in second. Ellie Hartnett won the 1500 metres in a time of 4:25.29, just ahead of Siobhan Whelan of Clonmel. Then Ciara Neville was in action in the 100 metres in a time of 11:52, which was her fastest season opener yet. This was in Andajar. I hope I said that right. But it's great to see her with her fastest season opener, and really sets the tone for the rest of the season. So we'll be excited to see how quick she can run this year. Charlene Maudsley was in action in Tilbury and won 400 metres in a time of 53:21. So we've had lots of athletics action. Then in some, I guess, less happy news, Anne-Marie McGlynn, she had been really trying for a marathon place in the same event that Aoife Cook made her qualification. She was racing that day and missed out on the Olympic qualification time by just 4 seconds, a short few weeks ago. She raced at the weekend in her kind of final attempt to get that Olympic qualification spot in really, really bad conditions in Austria. She was on track until about the halfway point, and then later in the race pulled out. I think she'd be very disappointed overall, not necessarily with that race in particular, but just knowing that she was just 4 seconds away from getting that qualification place. But look, there's more races, lots more to come, and we send our condolences, I guess, there, because 4 seconds over 42 kilometers really is nothing when it comes down to it. Mm-hmm. In terms of Camogie, Tipperary blew Waterford away with a stunning first half performance in Clonmel to put 1 foot in the Little Woods Ireland Camogie League Division 1 quarter final. The Desha girls, who were getting their Group 2 campaign underway, improved in the second half, but the damage had been done as they trailed by 14 points at the interval, losing in the end by 11 points, 0 goals, 11 points to 216. Jenny Egan shot 3-5 as Offaly recorded their most significant victory in a number of years when getting their season off to a dream start with 4-7 to 114 triumph over Dublin, a team that troubled the All-Ireland champions at Kilkenny 7 days previously. In terms of the Clare-Limerick match, Clare scored 111, Limerick 214, so Limerick will progress now to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, very exciting, and good to see, I suppose, the Camogie taking place as well. But in latest football news, that season kicked off and is underway under Friday night lights in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and possible scoop for her sport, it will be the new home of Cork senior women's teams from here on in, which is very exciting. Approved at county board level, even though it was already pre-approved, it just had to be approved. If anyone is in county board land, they know it's one of those things where it's quite tricky to get things like that done. But Cork took on Tipperary, who were led by Aisling Maloney under new manager Declan Carr. Erica O'Shea put in actually a textbook man marking job on Aisling Maloney, who limited her scores to three, which were only from frees. So it was an incredible performance from Cork. They saw off Tipperary 3-15 to 2-6. Rachel Kearns of Mayo proved that obviously Saoirse Noonan isn't the only one who can play in the Women's National League and ladies football as well. Rachel Kearns currently has 6 goals in the Women's National League, and her goal scoring form translated to ladies football, which she slotted home a penalty to put her side in contention. Mayo then went on to score 1-4 without reply in the closing 5 minutes to claim a 2-15 to 2-14 win over Galway, I suppose in the West of Ireland El Clasico. In Donegal, where Geraldine McLaughlin was making her 100th appearance for Donegal, newly appointed captain Niamh McLaughlin got the game's opening goal with just 16 seconds on the clock. A couple of Karen Guttery frees kept Donegal in control, but Niamh McLaughlin that is, raced clear to score her second goal, while Leona Archibald's penalty was actually just a bit too late for Westmeath. In Dublin and Waterford, Sinead Ahern kicked her first point, which got Dublin in control. They were a little bit under pressure at the start, but once Sinead Ahern kicked her first point, away they went. Familiar faces in Dublin, Irish rugby international Hannah Tyrrell, she kicked 1-5, Sinead Ahern scored 1-7, while goals from Niamh Heatherton, Orla Nolan, Lindsay Davey and Caoimh O'Connor saw Dublin cruise to get the win. Ria Delahunty was also a thorn in the side for the Dublin defence, but it just wasn't enough. We mentioned Jenny Egan in the Camogie news. She is also a dual player playing in ladies football. She slotted home 1-8 for Offaly against Carlow, capping off a very successful weekend for her, to say the least. The scoreline there was 3-16 to 1-16, an incredible feat for her and everyone involved. So yeah, good to see the ladies football season off to a start, and as I wrote in tomorrow's Irish Times, hopefully the season will have very little controversy and we can just get about our business and be happy out. I know I for one would be happy for that. Over in Women's National League news, Bows lost to Shelburne in the Dublin Jewel 1-0. The first half finish there was from Emily Whelan. Cork City lost 3-2 against Treaty United, and DLR Waves lost 2-0 against Peamount United in another Dublin Jewel. I suppose just on a note, in Cork recently, there's been a little bit of kind of whispers about the kind of current state of Cork City, because people are a little bit disappointed that they couldn't build off their cup final last year. And a lot of people saying that maybe there is potentially a change in management needed in order to get through, and people asking questions of what's going on in Cork. Funnily enough, I don't know if you actually saw the game on Watch League of Ireland, Niamh, but there was a scene where the Cork subs came out to warm up at half time, which is fine, is what they usually do, and there was more management on the sideline. So a lot of people are asking, why is there more management than players at this stage? So yeah, it's just a little bit of a tricky one, and hopefully Cork City can figure it out. They're currently rooted to the bottom of the table, which isn't a good sign given that they have such good experience and such good players. Yeah. Fair enough, Saoirse Noonan left last year, but one player isn't a whole team, which I think is important to state. So yeah, that's it in Women's National League. Is there anything else you need to add in? Anything else going on in your life?
No, I think that's all. I just think the game of football got off to a great start. Goals galore. Obviously, having a dual player in there is great. Hannah Tyrrell, back in action, bit of rugby, bit of football, a very busy lady. Crazy. And then I just think the 100th appearance for Geraldine McLaughlin is unbelievable. So congratulations to her. But yeah, look, it was an absolutely fantastic week of sport, and so many medals, and then obviously at the domestic games and everything in terms of camogie, football and soccer has been brilliant as well. So yeah, delighted to raise some more action, and definitely tune in next week. So
it was a successful paper review, because we usually have something to complain about, whereas this time it's all very good, joyous news, which is great to see. So yeah, no, fingers crossed next week it'll be as good news, as joyous and as fun to do. I know we're super stoked to bring more content and more action, which you should definitely keep an eye on our channels for. Isn't that right, Niamh?
Absolutely. So I think that's it from us today, and we will bring some more news next week.
Perfect. Don't forget to log in and follow us on social at JoannaWar_OX and at JoannaWar on Instagram, and the Her Sport handles, Niamh.
at hersport.ie on both Instagram and Twitter. And as we said, don't forget about that competition. €500. All you have to do is hit subscribe on that YouTube channel. And in case you didn't know, if you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube account. Just log in with your Gmail details, and that is you logged in and subscribed to our YouTube. So definitely do it.
Giving away the money. Giving it away. Putting it in your hand.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I'll talk to you later.
Cheerio.